Interested in a new build? Here's everything you need to know to get started. Hey everyone, it's Lydia with the Goalish team, and here's everything that you need to know to get started on a new build. Let's dive in. The first item that we need to consider is what area you're interested in. It's also really important on this note to understand that if you're interested in a new build, likely you might be a little further away than you are from the heart of town. So think about if you're buying a home in Littleton. You're probably not going to be right by downtown Littleton when you talk about a new build. Maybe you'll be a little bit further away from the outskirts of it. So just keep in mind the general areas that you're interested in. This is a really great start to understand what new build properties and communities we should look for. The second thing to consider is your needs analysis. We do this all the time with existing homes as well. What are you actually looking for in a home? So let's talk about the 5 top things that you need to think about when you're considering your own needs analysis for a new build. Number 1, what type of home are you wanting to buy? Are you wanting to buy a condo, a townhome, a single family home? And what is the style of that home? Number 2, how many bedrooms do you need? Number 3, you guessed it, how many bathrooms do you need? Number 4, is there a certain amount of garage, office, or basement space you need? And number 5, anything else? Now, usually when we're identifying needs, we have to think more non-negotiables, and then we can start looking at all the ones and reviewing those later. The third thing I want you to consider is pricing. Now, when we usually talk about pricing, we usually talk about pricing in hundreds of thousands. And I know this is really hard to do, especially when we buy nothing else in hundreds of thousands. But bear with me. When we start seeing advertisements from builders, they usually say in the mid-5s or the high 6s or low 8s. Just be mindful that we need to have a little bit of a range to be able to start where you're looking for. Let's say 800,000 is totally out of the question, then that means that we need to start a little bit lower and work our way up. This is especially true when you start to break down pricing from builders on the following. Let's dive in. There's 3 big reasons why I want to talk about pricing. The number 1 reason is because taxes are higher on new builds than they are on existing homes. This means that your monthly payment is going to be a few $100s higher when we talk about a new home versus an existing one. This is typically true because think about it. They're building the entire community, so they need to build new roads, schools, fire departments, police stations, libraries, you name it. That takes a lot of tax dollars, and they usually find it within the property taxes. So be mindful that when we start talking about prices, we don't want to cap you on your high end just yet because we have to accommodate for a few things. And one of those things is considering that your monthly payment could be a few $100s higher based on taxes alone. Let's do a more specific breakdown on what that might look like for an $800,000 home. Most taxes on new builds are anywhere between 1 to 1.2% of the purchase price on new build. Let's say you're looking at an $800,000 home. Taxes for the year might be $9,600. That's about $800 a month. Now, let's say you were looking at an $800,000 home on an existing home and the taxes were $3,000 a year. That's about $250 a month. That means that if you're looking at a new build versus that of an existing home, you might be paying upwards of $550 extra a month based on taxes alone. The number 2 thing that I want to talk about when it comes to pricing is advertised versus actual price. So it's very, very important. Now, builders do a lot of lobbying. Why? Because they don't want to be regulated. So when they advertise something, they can be really, really loose on what they advertise for. A lot of times I'll have clients say, I saw a sign, or I got an email, or I looked on the website, and these houses are in the mid-5s. And then we call the builder, and the builder says they're $800,000. What? Why is it hundreds, like literally multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars different? Because the builder, not being licensed, can get away with advertising a much, much lower cost than the actual cost of it. So sometimes you might see a sign that says going for the mid-5s. Well, ask yourself, how old is that sign, and mainly how accurate is it? Once you start to see some advertisements, be sure to check in with us so that we can get the accurate and up-to-date pricing. Pricing can literally change every single day. And so it's our job for you to make sure that we talk to the builder and get the most accurate pricing before you start dreaming of your next home. Number 3 is the base price versus the closed price. A lot of builders have a certain base price. So let's say you see the sign or you get an email for the mid-5s and it's actually $750,000. Well, that's going to be the base price. We need to consider that the builder has a lot of other things they can add to it. Maybe they have a lot premium, or they have a basement premium if you want a basement, or they have a elevation premium. There's so many premiums that they have, and this, what does it do? It easily adds the money up. So let's say the house is $750 at the base price. There might be 3 premiums, and you might actually end up paying $50,000 more for those premiums. Okay, now guess what? We have to go to the design center, and usually you're looking at an average of spending about $30,000 on design. So you take that $750,000 home, you add the $50,000 in premiums, you add $30,000 in design, and you're right about at $830,000. Again, it's just being mindful on the forefront. Maybe you wanted an $830,000 home, or maybe what you're getting is value to you. Just being mindful on the forefront that these things aren't at face value when it comes to pricing from the builders versus what you're actually going to pay. Number 4 is let's talk. It's really important that once you've started to think about the things that you need in the home, the pricing and areas that you're open to, that we go ahead and sit down, whether it's a phone call, a Zoom call, or in person, and dive into all of those pieces. This is especially really important that we do this before you go talk to the builders. And yes, I do mean that includes before you drive by, shake their hand, tell them your name, look at the models. The builders not being licensed tend to put their interests before yours, and they truly are the salesy people. They're kind of little used car salesman mentality. And I hate to say that, but we've seen it happen so many times. So before you go drive by, before you visit the models, just let us know that you're simply interested, and then we'll help lead the way. We'll make sure that your interests are put first, which they should be, and working with us does not cause more money to be spent on the home. In fact, if you don't work with us, you work directly with the builder, and it's sometimes hard to negotiate with them and represent yourself to them when they know all the rules and they know that you might not know all of them. And then they just pocket that money and use it for the next marketing dollar. So why not take that money and put it to good use, make sure you're best represented and taken care of in this next home purchase. In working with us first, we're able to do the legwork for you. A lot of times new builds can be really hard to find unless you literally drive up and ask questions. And even when you do, you can get an old price sheet that changes in a day or two. Allowing us to do the legwork for you makes sure that we have great communication with the builders. A lot of builders even email us weekly inventory, so we already know what's happening before you have a sit-down meeting with us. Okay, the last piece on new builds is timing. How quickly can you get a new build? We've had some buyers get new builds as quickly as 1 to 3 months and as long as 18 months. So I would say in general, about 3 to 18 months is the range that you would wait. If you're on the front end of it, meaning you're on a wait list for a community, which we can help get you on, it might be closer to about 18 months from the time that you start on that wait list to the time that the home's closed. Usually when it comes to actually breaking ground, meaning instead of just a pile of dirt, they're doing something to it, they're building your house, usually it takes about 9 months to be able to do that. It's really great to be able to see your house come together, and there's lots of things that we can teach you along the way. But again, the first thing is come and talk to us. We're happy to walk you through next steps, share builder options with you, and represent you with your best interests first. From everyone here at the Golesh team, I'm Lady Golesh. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to get you into your new home.